Well, howdy doody. Welcome to the RetrEcast. Hey diddly ho, neighbour. Welcome to the RetrEcast part 2. I've got Joe round here. Hi.
Hello.
So I've picked Joe up today and we've been moving through his stuff. I was playing with Pac-Man 2 early on.
Yeah.
How the fuck are the batteries still working in that damn thing? What batteries have you put in it? I mean, seriously, he's probably pulled this out after he's been sat around for God knows how long, right? And like Pac-Man 2, it's a two-player game. It's almost like a table game of Pac-Man. Mm-hmm. It's like you actually stand holding it in both your hands, facing each other.
Yeah. 1981.
Yeah. Really cool. Yeah. But the fucking batteries still work in it. That's what got me. It's like, how the fuck do them batteries still work in that bleeding thing?
I don't have a clue, mate.
You've got some special powers with retro gaming, dude. I'm just like shocked. I mean, you know when you turn something on and just don't expect it out, and then the screen just lights up, and it's like, fuck. That is crazy. If that would have been mine, it would have been corroded to fuck.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Anyway, welcome. Welcome to the RetrEcast. And if you're wondering what RetrEcast even stands for, by the way, it's retro and E for internet and cast. So let's clear that up, because even you didn't know that, did you?
No.
No, we spoke about that early on, and I was like, oh yeah, by the way, Joe, this is what it means.
Yeah, it's just like you said E for internet, and I was like, E in internet.
Yeah, it's like, well, why does Internet Explorer have any?
Yeah.
Email.
Yeah.
E for
electronic emails.
Yeah. Electronic mail, basically. Yeah. So, and this is electronic because we're digital. So there you go. Joe's a retro guy. You've got to understand. You know what I mean? If you're not streaming on an Atari, it's just way out of this guy's league.
Yeah.
An Atari, something I bought, something that I received this week.
Nice.
A 2600. Not working.
Yeah.
Yet. Got to work on that one. I've been fine-tuning this shit out my PC.
Yeah.
So out my TV even. Would it work? Would it fuck?
Would it work?
Would it work? Yeah, it's a 2600. Well, it's just a 2600. It's not the A. It's actually a 2000. Which is strange because we've just done a load of pictures of all my stuff. And seriously, every console that I actually own, and this was not planned, is actually a first edition.
Yeah.
How the fuck does that work out? What's the chances of that? What did you say early on? There's 9 different versions of PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
And I got the first one.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really crazy. And then I bought the BK6 as well. That arrived. Not in brand new condition, may I add. That was a bit of a killer. I mean, spent a lot of money on that console. Supposed to be sealed. It was branded on eBay as new. So I've had to go back to the seller and say, listen, this isn't new. You've opened the packaging. I bought this as a new product from 1979. It's not new. So what are you going to do about it? And I've been totally ignored. So I'm going to have to get eBay involved beginning of December. I think it's December the 4th, which is not good. I mean, I didn't think Japanese people was even like that.
No.
Clearly it's a cruel world, even in the retro gaming scene. Then I find out, because like I say, it wasn't new, it had these 2 marks on the back of the console, or just right on the corner of the console, and I'm like, what the fuck has caused this? It looks like a soldering iron burn, but without any burn marks. And because of Eric Voskuil, who actually runs beforemario.com, I found out that he actually has that at the end of one of his blogs. If you're going to get a BK6, do never ever wrap the RF lead around the actual console, because basically what Nintendo did back in 1979 was they added some kind of chemical, I'm presuming. It's a plasticizer. It's to keep the cable from breaking and going fragile. It's to keep it sort of supple. And it completely fucking ruins the console if it touches it. And we're not talking years. I mean, seriously, I found another mark tonight, didn't I?
Yeah.
From when I packed it back away, which is crazy. So I've had to actually put cling film around the bit that's not in the bag, because that made a mark, and I was gutted, and it's just like, fuck. Well, it's beautiful condition on the front.
Yeah, it is.
It's a beauty. It's
immaculate.
It is immaculate on the front, but now it's got these little marks on the back, which I guess is part of its life story, and I'm gonna have to deal with it. I don't want to send it back, but I want a discount.
Yeah.
Which is a fair enough thing to ask for. He said it was new. It's not new.
It's not sealed.
It's not sealed, which is exactly eBay's definition of new, is sealed in the manufacturer's original packaging, which it's not. Somebody had ripped the packaging, ripped the sellotape off that held it together. But the thing is about the BK6 is it's the holy grail of Nintendo. I mean, when Nintendo first started making consoles, they actually got approached by Mitsubishi to help them on their project after another project that they was involved in went tits up, and the company actually, they basically liquidated, back in 77, I think it was, or 76, before the first ever console. So Nintendo was never able to label a console as Nintendo because it was Nintendo and Mitsubishi, so they just didn't do it.
Yeah.
The BK6 is the very, very first console that Nintendo ever put a label on.
Yeah.
Like, ever. Apart from, the trading cards that they did before that. Because, they have been running since, the 1860s or something. And they started with sort of trading cards in Japan and all that stuff. And this is all information that I've dragged from before Mario.com, which is a brilliant, fascinating site. Eric Voskule is, the #1 collector of Nintendo. Yeah, and if you do want to follow him, he is at Donkey King 64, but that's not his primary one anymore because he's released a book which I've now bought, and he's now called At Before Mario.
Yeah.
So follow him on that one. He has said to me already that he prefers to be followed on that one because I was like, why have you only got 60 followers? Everybody follow this guy. And he went to over 100 in about 20 minutes. It was brilliant to see that everybody got involved, And but then he was like, if you don't mind, can you have me on Before Mario because my book's out, and it only came out about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Maybe not even that. I think it was middle of the month, middle of November. Which I bought, like I said, but unfortunately I bought it that late that I missed out on the coveted black version. There was a limited edition, first 500, and I've completely missed it as usual. You know what I'm like. Do everything bleeding late, but can't wait to get that book. And it's going to help, if you're a collector, or if you want to become a collector, well, what's better than buying the book from the #1 Nintendo collector? Yeah. So, he actually owns a BK6. I've seen it in his attic that he's converted into basically his own private museum. And he actually said, bring your gear over to the UK and do an exhibition. And he says, that's a fucking brilliant idea. I might just do that. So you never know. You might get to see all his gear.
Yeah.
I'll be going.
I'll be going as well.
I'll be going. I think every retro gamer.
Yeah.
I bet he's never done that. I bet he's never even... I wouldn't be surprised if he's never done that in his entire life. He doesn't come across as... He comes across as the type of guy that sort of catalogues everything and does blogs, but catalogues everything first. Doesn't come across as like, I'm a show-off. Because he's just not. He's just passionate about collecting stuff. So I'll be interested to see that little seed. I'm gonna mither him. I'm gonna see if he actually will do that, which would be great. So the BK6 isn't quite as good as I thought it would be. I also bought an Atari that the picture's not right on. Don't know why I bought it really. I just wanted an Atari. It doesn't always matter whether it works, does it?
No.
It does work. You can see the picture. It's just a fault on the power on/off button, which I've already identified, and I will strip down and fix. I'll recondition the goddamn thing. That will be the best Atari in the world when I'm done with it. And I got 20 games with it, or 22 games, for 35 quid.
That's alright. That.
Not arguing with that, are you?
No.
£1 a game. That's 20 quid worth of games.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to argue over that. Quite happy with that. What have you been doing? You've just started. You've started your stream on Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Revisited.
Yeah.
You fucking ponce. You want to hear him talk over this? You want to hear him talk over it? He knows all the words line for line. He made me watch it before we did the podcast.
Well, it was a play on words as well because I said it's a reintroduction, whereas means
Resident Evil, obviously, we did get that. Well, I got it anyway.
Yeah.
But, because you put it in capitals.
Yeah.
If you hadn't have put it in capitals, I probably never would have. But because you did, I did. So Joe literally takes the piss out of his favourite game.
Yeah.
Why did he do that?
It's just for the comedy value, I think.
Yeah. He's the most sarcastic bastard I know when it comes to revisiting old games, because you literally do talk as the character all the way through, don't you?
Yeah.
He's fucking hilarious. Oh dear. Right, what else has been going on this week? Well, jumping forward in time from 19 old plonk, there's been a lot more Kickstarter stuff going on. So we've made a Mario keyring. We've made a Games You Love keyring, which both look fantastic. We've had to edit the Mario one because the foot that sticks out on it, if you've seen it, by the way, on my Twitter or on the Kickstarter, it imbalances it. So we've had to chop a bit at the bottom of the foot off. But I mean, that's by the by. Games You Love have asked for theirs. They want theirs. They want to take photos and give us credits. You can just have it, whatever.
But that's a good thing about a new product because these are more or less prototypes, so we can exactly always change them. And we're thinking about putting the metal rings on now. So
yeah, the idea with the Mario one, by the way, if you've not seen it, or even if you have seen it, is a lot of people won't know this, but we only took the photo of the actual sort of acrylic etched keyring. We've not put the actual keyring itself on it. So I've got something saved that, because he collects gold coins, yeah. So we're putting a gold keyring on it. So and it's connected to his hand, so it looks like he's actually just grabbed hold of a gold coin.
Yeah,
it does look pretty good. Which
awesome.
Funny thing is, I hadn't spoke to Joe about that, and he came up with that idea and went, "Oh, they've done it, bro," which is quite funny because that's just how similar we think when it comes to stuff like that. It's like, you're always trying to make it better, always trying to make your product better. But yeah, so I mean, I fell asleep many a night this week in my chair working on the Kickstarter, pissed on my face.
Yeah. Standard.
Because I'm worried about it. I think when you have a Kickstarter, you're genuinely worried that you don't know if it's going to fly or not. You've no idea. There's nothing to measure it off when it's your first one. I think it'd be a lot easier if you'd done one, knew it was successful, and then did another one. That first one's scary stuff, because you don't know if you're coming across in the right